Hello everyone, welcome to Dimma Tutorials Online School. My name is Mark Obon Collins. Today we're going to be looking at JAMB 2023 past questions. Now let's dive in. Random questions from 2023 JAMB. This is going to be part 1 because I want us to look at up to 40 questions. So this question, it says, the membrane around the vacuole is known as, is it alloplast? Is it amyloplast? C, tonoplast? D, cytoplast? The answer to the question is tonoplast, because tonoplast is the main part of the vacuole. So that's the answer. And if you look at this picture, it's well depicted how tonoplast surrounds the vacuole. The next question, which of the following is a characteristic of cells related to irritability? Now, irritability is basically talking about how we respond to stimuli. Yes, how living organisms respond to stimuli. So the best option for this answer is A, ability to respond to stimuli. If you observe this particular diagram, you see that the plant is responding to the stimulus of light. That's why it's bending towards the stimulus of light. So that is part of phototropism. Yes. The next question. Which of the following is an example of a microorganism in action as a disease vector? Now, what is a vector? A vector is talking about an organism that carries the disease-causing organism. Yes. It doesn't cause the disease, but it carries what causes the disease. So, in this particular option, mosquito is the best option because mosquito is the vector. We have different types of mosquitoes that are vectors, but the one that causes malaria particularly is female Anopheles mosquito. Yes, so it bites the host, and when it bites the host, it injects the parasite, which is known as Plasmodium falciparum. So this Plasmodium falciparum is the one that causes the malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum is a protozoa. So take note of that. So you can see this picture, you can see the diagram of the picture, see the mosquito piercing through the skin of the host and sucking the host. Then in exchange, it gives Plasmodium to the host, which is disastrous and disadvantageous to the health of the host. The next question, which of them is evidence of evolution? We have A, all of the above, and so the other options are B, similarities in embryonic development. That is very, very correct. We have similarities in embryonic development because at that initial stage of development, we observe that living organisms tend to look alike in their embryonic level, but as they develop, you begin to see the differences gradually. So that is exactly how it is. Then C, fossils of extinct organisms. Now if you check out the fossils of extinct organisms, like the parts, like the teeth of an animal, you see that it's almost looking alike, especially the molar teeth from this diagram here, especially the molar teeth. They're looking alike. If you look at the molar teeth of a horse, donkey, and the host of others, you see that they look almost alike. And then if you look at their forefeet too also looks alike. If you look at the diagram properly, you see on one column, you see the molar teeth, and then you see the forefeet. You see how they look alike. Then you see a whole organism, how they resemble each other. So all these parts belonging to these animals, if they are preserved, because that is what keeping fossils is all about, keeping those parts of the animal that entails that they once existed. Yes. So if you keep those parts and you observe them, you see that there are similarities. So that's how they come about the evidence of evolution as regards this. Then we have homologous structures in different species. Now when you talk about homologous structures in different species, you talk about the different parts of the organism that look alike, but they are used for different purposes. For instance, the example. Okay, sorry about that. So the answer to that question is A, all of the above. A, all of the above. The next question. Which of the following is an example of an adaptation for survival in social insects? A. Migration to warmer climates. B. Production of venom for defense. C. Formation of complex castes. And D. Hibernation during winter months. The best option to choose here is C. Formation of complex caste systems. The reason is because we have different ranks in the termitaria, that is where the termites are found. And these different castes perform different roles. And as they perform different roles, they ensure their survival. We have the workers, which has specific roles to take care of the queen, the king, and other members of the castes. And we also have the soldiers, which act as the defense agents. They defend the territory from invaders. And we also have the queen and the reproductives. Yes, they help to sustain the lineage. They help to sustain the existence of the breed of termites. So when it gets to a particular point, they carry out social, social mating. They carry out social mating, which is known as nuptial flight. So they go out and they carry out nuptial flight for this purpose. So that is the way they are able to propagate themselves, or to reproduce and propagate themselves. So that is basically what that is about. So the best answer to that question is C, formation of complex caste systems. Which of the following is an example of an abiotic ecological factor? This is another question. Which of the following is an example of an abiotic ecological factor? We have A, temperatures, predation, B, we have A, temperature, we have B, competition, we have C, predation, we have D, symbiosis. Now, all these points from B to D, they are all biotic factors, but A, temperature, is an abiotic factor. So it is a non-living factor. That's why it's called abiotic factor. And other things that are associated with abiotic factor, temperature, is sunlight, water, pH level, rainfall, rock, wind, salinity, soil, as displayed in the diagram. So take note of your abiotic factors and biotic factors. Know which one is biotic, know which one is abiotic. So the answer is A to this question. The next question. Which of the following processes is involved in the reproduction of developing organisms? We have A, budding, we have B, germination, we have C, fertilization, we have D, pollination. Now, the best option to choose here is fertilization, because fertilization is talking about the development of a zygote, which is gotten by the reproductive cells of living organisms. And that's part of sexual reproduction. So that zygote that is formed will now develop, which now satisfies the question. It now develops into an organism that has specialized structures. So that tallies very much with the question. So the answer is C, fertilization. The next question. What is the tissue responsible for transporting water and minerals from the roots to the rest of the plant? We all know that that is the function of xylem. And if you never knew, now you know. The function of xylem is to transport water and minerals, yes, to transport water and mineral ions. That's the function of xylem. So you can see here, you see that blue part and the arrow that is depicting blue. It's telling you how water is being transported by the xylem from the roots to the different parts of the plant. Whereas the other one, which is the yellow color, is talking about the phloem. Phloem helps in transportation of food from the leaves to different parts of the body. If you look at the arrow very well, it's from the top down. So there are two different things. Xylem transports water and minerals, and phloem transports food substances that are made in the leaves, most specifically glucose. So the answer to this question is A, xylem.